All right, let's do this. We're going deep today into the world of textiles.
Sounds comfy.
Yeah, well, maybe not literally comfy.
Right.
But fascinating for sure. We're looking at Indo Count Industries Ltd.
Okay.
Got their Q2 FY25 financials, press releases, and a really impressive investor presentation.
Nice.
All ready to unpack.
Unpack, right.
So this deep dive should be like your cheat sheet to understanding where this company is at, where they're headed, and what it all means for the bigger textile landscape.
The future of textiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So jumping right in, what's interesting right off the bat.
Well, Indo Count's been dealing with some, external pressures.
Oh, yeah?
Like everyone else, global supply chains been causing some headaches.
Ah, the dreaded supply chain issues.
Right. It's impacting their sales volume and revenue.
Yeah, seems like everyone's wrestling with that these days. But even with those bumps in the road,
Yeah.
Indo Count is still managing to deliver a pretty strong performance
They are.
in the first half of FY25, right?
Absolutely, yeah. They're actually seeing 12% year-over-year revenue growth for the first half.
Wow.
Their core sheet business, it's their bread and butter.
Right.
That's been really steady. But you bring up a good point. How are they managing this growth when things are so,
Chaotic. Yeah, exactly.
chaotic? Yeah.
Well, their investor presentation uses this catchy phrase,
Okay.
Indo Count 2.0, an era of transformation.
I like it.
So maybe that holds the key.
Yeah.
They're talking about 7 distinct verticals that they're operating in now,
Interesting.
from their classic sheet business to things like utility bedding and even e-commerce.
It's not just about adding more categories, though, right? They're strategically moving up the value chain. It's less about just churning out, basic sheets.
Okay.
And more about creating these premium branded experiences around their products.
Gotcha.
They're even getting into licensing deals with big names,
Oh, wow.
like Fieldcrest and Waverly.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
But hold on, back up for a sec.
sure.
For those of us who, aren't textile experts,
Right.
what exactly are utility bedding?
It sounds a bit, utilitarian.
Yeah, right.
Think of it this way. It's all the stuff that makes your bed. More than just a mattress,
Okay.
Quilts, pillows, mattress pads, all those cozy things. And it's a market segment that's growing really rapidly,
Oh, interesting.
which is probably why Indo Count is jumping in with both feet.
Makes sense.
They even acquired Fluvatex and Modern Home Textiles
Yeah.
to really beef up their offerings in that space.
So they're diversifying big time,
They are.
snagging up established brands,
Yes.
moving into these higher value products.
Hmm.
Sounds like a classic recipe for boosting
Profit margins.
profit margins. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where things get a little more nuanced.
Okay.
If you look at their consolidated profit and loss statement, their EBITDA margin has actually dipped a little bit. Oh, huh.
Now, before you panic,
Okay.
this isn't necessarily a bad sign.
Right.
It's largely because they're pouring a lot of cash into these new ventures,
I see.
particularly that big expansion into the U.S. market.
So they're playing a long game, taking a bit of a hit now to,
Exactly.
reap bigger rewards later.
Exactly. The company's banking on these investments to yield returns in the next year or so. They've even adjusted their EBITDA margin guidance to a range of 15 to 16%.
So they're being transparent about the financial impact of this transformation. That's
Yes.
interesting. This willingness to, sacrifice some short-term profits for this bigger long-term vision.
Yeah.
Speaking of the U.S. expansion, they made a pretty splashy move by acquiring Wamsutter, right?
They did.
That's a brand with a serious history.
Absolutely. Wamsutta's been around for over 175 years.
Wow.
So it's a household name in America, especially for those who, value heritage and
Oh,
quality.
right. It instantly boosts Indo Count's brand portfolio and gives them this solid foothold in the U.S. retail market.
Okay.
But they're not just stopping at acquisitions.
Right.
They're going all in on brand building.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me
Yeah.
more about how they're,
Yeah.
crafting these brand identities and trying to connect with U.S. consumers.
Well, think about it this way. They're not just selling sheets. They're selling the idea of a good night's sleep,
Okay.
a comfortable home, a sense of style,
Right.
and they're using these different brands to tell different stories.
So they're trying to create like a whole world of brands.
Yeah.
Each with its own kind of story and appeal.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing that's where those licensing agreements come in.
That's a big part of it.
They snag deals with Gaiam, like the yoga and wellness brand,
Right.
and even Jasper Conran, that British design icon.
Yeah, that one's really interesting.
What's the strategy there?
Well, with Gaim, they're tapping into this whole market of people who are super passionate about health and mindfulness.
Oh, I see.
It's not just about sleep anymore. It's about this whole like well-being thing.
Right.
And then you've got Jasper Conran, which brings
Okay.
a touch of that British sophistication, that timeless design.
Very nice. Very nice.
So it's about appealing to those who appreciate,
Right.
the finer details, that luxury and elegance.
So they're covering all the bases.
They are.
Yoga enthusiasts to, design snobs.
Yeah.
But aren't they risking spreading themselves too thin?
Uh-huh.
I mean, managing all these brands?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. But remember,
Okay.
they're not just relying on these acquisitions and licensing agreements.
Right.
They're also putting a lot of energy into their own domestic brands.
Okay.
Boutique living and layers.
Yeah.
Boutique living.
Okay.
It's all about exquisitely crafted designs, targeting the premium segment.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, of the Indian market.
Okay. And then you've got layers, which is more affordable.
Makes sense.
Wider range of products.
So they're playing both sides of the field.
Yeah.
Catering to, global and domestic markets.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting different price points.
They are. It's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, it is. It is. But let's not forget,
Sure.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Indo Count is still a manufacturing company.
Right.
All this fancy branding
Yeah.
doesn't mean much if they're not actually,
Producing high quality products.
yeah, making good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where their operational efficiency comes in.
Yeah.
This is where their investments in
Okay.
digital transformation become really important.
Okay, so less spreadsheets, more algorithms.
Kinda. Yeah.
But how does that actually translate
Yeah.
into, better sheets and quilts
Sure.
for the average person?
Think of it this way. Data analytics helps them optimize every single step,
Okay.
from sourcing the materials
Right?
to managing inventory.
To fine-tuning their manufacturing.
So it's about bringing that high-tech edge
Yeah.
to their manufacturing
Yeah.
and making sure those products,
Live up to the hype.
live up to the hype.
Yeah.
But it's not just about efficiency, right?
Right.
They're also super big on sustainability.
Absolutely. And that commitment extends to their whole operation.
Okay.
From sourcing to production. They've really put resources into renewable energy,
Right.
water conservation, and waste management.
It's one thing to talk about sustainability,
Yeah.
but are they actually
Walking the walk.
walking the walk? Yeah. Give me the specifics.
Okay, so they are. 90% of their operations at their Balad plant are powered by renewable energy.
Wow.
Think about that. Almost their entire factory running on the sun.
That's impressive.
They've also significantly reduced their freshwater consumption.
Okay.
And have embraced using plant-based dyes
Oh, cool.
for their pure earth collection. And they're not just focused on themselves either. They're working with suppliers to promote responsible sourcing practices.
Okay, that's really good.
It is.
So they're hitting the efficiency button,
Yeah.
embracing sustainability, building this whole universe of brands.
Oh, God.
It sounds like they're really trying to
Position themselves for the future.
yeah, for the future. But how does this all fit into the bigger picture of the textile industry? Where's the industry headed?
Right.
And how does Indo Count's strategy stack up?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
The global textile industry is going through this massive change.
Okay.
Driven by shifting consumer preferences. You've got technological advancements and a whole lot of geopolitical uncertainty. Indo Count's success really hinges on their ability to,
Ride these waves of change.
ride the waves. Yeah.
Let's break it down a bit.
Okay.
What are some of the biggest trends that are shaping the future of textiles?
Sure.
And how's Indo Count positioning themselves to deal with those?
Okay. Well, one of the most significant trends is this growing demand for sustainable and ethically produced textiles.
Right. Yeah. Consumers are getting more aware
They are.
of the impact of their choices.
Exactly. And they're demanding more transparency.
Makes sense. And it sounds like Indo Count is already ahead of the curve
Yeah.
on that front, right?
They are. Their commitment to those ESG principles
Right.
is already pretty strong, but they're not stopping there.
Oh, good.
They're actively exploring new materials, new processes.
Right.
They're partnering with organizations. The the Better Cotton Initiative
Oh, cool.
to promote sustainable cotton production. They're not just reacting.
They're trying to shape the future.
They're trying to shape the future.
So they're not just hopping on the bandwagon. They're trying to steer the whole thing.
Exactly.
But sustainability isn't the only thing shaking up the industry, is it?
It's not.
What about the rise of, like, e-commerce?
Right.
That's got to be having a huge impact
It is a game changer.
on how these products are sold.
Yeah, e-commerce allows companies to bypass all those traditional channels
Okay.
and build direct relationships with the customer.
Interesting.
And Indo Count's definitely embracing that. They're investing in their online presence, building their own platforms,
Wow.
partnering with online retailers.
So they're going straight to the consumer,
Yeah,
cutting out the
middleman.
middleman. Yeah. That's a pretty bold move
It is bold.
for a company with such deep roots in,
Yeah,
traditional manufacturing.
it is, but it's also smart.
Okay.
By controlling their own distribution.
Right.
They can build those stronger relationships, gather valuable data,
Right.
respond more quickly to the market.
So it's not just about selling online.
Right.
It's about creating that,
Seamless.
seamless experience
Engaging.
across all channels. That's that omni-channel strategy, right?
That is what they call it.
That everyone's talking about these days.
Yeah.
Blending online and offline
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create that unified brand experience.
Yeah.
But isn't it a pretty big ask
It is a big ask.
for a company like Indo Count?
Yeah, but it's essential these days.
Right.
Consumers expect that personalized experience,
Right.
that convenience, whether they're, browsing online, walking into a store, or even, scrolling through their phone.
So Indo Count is investing in the technology
Yeah,
to make that happen.
absolutely.
So they're really trying to stay ahead of the curve,
They are.
embracing these big industry shifts, betting on their ability to adapt.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. But there's got to be more to it than just technology and trends,
Oh.
right? What about, like, the human factor, the people behind the brand?
That's crucial. At the end of the day,
Right.
it's the people who bring a brand to life.
Right.
And Indo Count seems to understand that. They're focused on attracting talent,
Okay.
people who are, passionate about this stuff.
Savvy about, digital marketing and able to connect with those customers.
So it's about more than just like technical skills.
Yeah.
It's about finding people who,
Share the vision.
share the vision,
The values.
tell the Indo Count story.
Yeah, tell that story.
And that's ultimately what will determine their success in this new era of textiles.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
Okay, so we talked a lot about strategy, we've talked about sustainability, we've talked about the future of this whole industry.
Yeah.
But let's get down to,
Brass tacks.
brass tacks, yeah.
A number.
How are they actually doing
Right.
financially? Are all these big moves
Yeah.
actually translating into profits?
Well, their Q2 FY25 results
Okay.
show a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
Revenues definitely are up, driven by their expansion into new markets and products.
Okay.
But their profitability has taken a little hit,
Okay.
mainly because of those upfront investments.
Right. We were talking about earlier.
So they're still in that investment phase,
They are.
pouring money into building their future.
Yeah.
But are investors buying into this long-term vision?
It seems so. Their stock price has been climbing pretty steadily,
Right.
which suggests that investors are confident
Okay.
in those long-term returns.
But there's always risk involved, right?
Of course.
If those investments don't pay off,
Right.
that could put pressure on,
Down the line.
their performance down the line.
Definitely.
So it's a calculated gamble.
It is.
They're betting big on their ability to, transform the company,
yeah.
become a major player in the global textile market.
Right.
And only time will tell if that bet pays off.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a,
A fascinating journey.
fascinating journey to watch.
Absolutely. And it's a journey that holds,
Okay.
valuable lessons for anyone interested in the future of business.
Right. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about Indo Count's expansion, their branding, sustainability, financials, and like the broader trends in the textile industry.
It's a lot.
It's been a whirlwind.
It has.
But before we wrap up,
Sure.
there's one more aspect I want to touch on.
Okay.
Their leadership.
Yes.
We've talked about their strategy, their operations,
Right.
but ultimately the success of any company
Yeah.
comes down to,
The leaders.
the leaders.
Their vision.
Exactly.
Their
Indo Count seems to have a pretty impressive leadership team
They do.
at the helm.
Yeah, their executive chairman, Anil Kumar Jain,
Okay.
he's been with the company for over 3 decades.
Wow.
He's got a really deep understanding of this industry.
That's great. And their CEO, K.R. Lalpuria,
Yes.
has a proven track record of,
Driving growth.
growth and innovation.
Absolutely.
So together, they've steered Indo Count through
Yeah.
this remarkable period of transformation.
Transformation and expansion, yeah.
And their vision for the future
Yeah.
is both, like,
Ambitious
ambitious,
and inspiring.
inspiring, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not content with just being, like, a successful manufacturer.
Right.
They want to build a global brand.
Yeah.
That stands for, like, quality,
Sustainability.
and,
Social responsibility.
social responsibility. It's a
Yeah.
vision that I think a lot of people
Mhm.
can get behind.
I think so too.
But it's not just about the top executives.
Right.
It's about the whole leadership team.
It is, yeah. They need to cultivate this culture of innovation, empower their employees, foster this deep commitment
To sustainability.
to sustainability across the entire organization.
Creating that strong and aligned leadership team is going to be, essential for them.
Absolutely.
For their long-term success.
For sure.
And it's something I'll definitely be keeping an eye on as their story unfolds.
Me too.
It really feels like they're building something, bigger
Yeah.
than just selling sheets and towels. They're weaving in this whole idea of, like,
Right.
sustainability, responsible business,
Yeah.
giving back to the community.
And their commitment to those principles, it's not just
Lip service.
subservice, yeah. They're backing it up with real action. Their CSR initiatives are pretty noteworthy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about those.
So they're actively involved in healthcare, education, even water and sanitation projects
Wow.
in the communities where they operate.
So it's not just about writing a check and,
Right.
patting themselves on the back.
Exactly.
They're getting involved, making a real difference.
It's really impressive.
And that's got to resonate with consumers these days.
Oh, absolutely.
When people are looking for brands that,
Stand for something.
that stand for
Or
something.
just profit. There's this growing awareness that businesses need to be, good citizens,
Right.
not just moneymakers.
And it seems like Indo Count is,
They're doing a good job of balancing that.
balancing that. They're showing you can be
You can be both.
profitable, A&D, purpose-driven.
Exactly.
And the market seems to agree, right?
Yeah,
We talked about their stock price going up.
right.
So investors are buying into this whole
This vision.
vision. But, financial performance is just one part of the story.
Right.
What's really cool is how Indo Count is, like, changing the narrative
Yeah.
around the textile industry.
Challenging those perceptions.
Yeah. It used to be all about,
Sweatshops.
sweatshops, environmental damage.
Yeah.
They're turning it into a story about innovation and sustainability and,
Responsibility.
responsibility. Yeah. And it seems to be working.
It really does.
It's a powerful message. It's resonating with
Everyone.
investors, employees.
It's really creating a sense of
Pride
pride. Yeah.
and purpose.
Yeah. It goes beyond just the products.
It does.
So what's next for them? Where does this journey lead?
Well, that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
The story's still being written. They've got big goals.
Mm-hmm.
And the path ahead is going to be full of, challenges
Yeah.
and opportunities. But one thing's for sure, they're not afraid to
To take risks.
take risks, push the boundaries, challenge things,
They're constantly evolving,
adapt.
innovating.
Yeah,
And their journey is like, proof
yeah.
that businesses can be this force
hmm
for positive change in the world.
It's an inspiring story, one I'll definitely be following.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah.
And for you, our listener, I hope this deep dive has given you, a new perspective on the textile industry.
Yeah.
It's not just about, what we wear, what we sleep on.
Right.
It's about the choices we make,
hmm
the values we support.
The impact we have. Yeah, the impact on the world.
Exactly.
Indo Count's story is a reminder.
That businesses
Yeah.
have this power to make a difference,
Yeah.
to create a better future for everyone.
So the next time you're, shopping for textiles,
Yeah.
take a second. Consider the story behind that product.
Ask yourself,
Yeah,
what does this brand stand for? What impact is my purchase having?
that matters.
It does, it does. And who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to support companies like Indo Count,
Yeah.
who are, trying to build a more sustainable, ethical, beautiful future
For us all.
for all of us. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.